Our guest is the parliamentary candidate from Yasamal first election constituency 15, Musavat party head Gambar. Welcome to our studio. Thank you. How is your campaigning going on? Complicated. If you take into consideration the obstacles created by the authorities, unequal conditions, it doesn't serve free and fair elections. But my election campaign is going on very well. I have met with thousands of families within past weeks. I have visited all streets, courtyards, in the area of my constituency and talked with the people. I witnessed the people's negative attitude towards the government and positive attitude to us. I also attended the election campaign of our friends, partners. What are the main expectations of the electorate? What do the voters expect from the next parliament? The voters have lost their belief in parliament, their hope for democratic changes in peaceful way. The electorate is therefore aware of everything. It's very wise. Now they want us to voice the truth. They want their voice to be heard in the parliament. They want their problems to be voiced in the parliament. They believe that the parliamentarians, truly elected by the people, will serve democratic change. The problems are clear: unemployment, low salaries, low pensions, social benefits, bribery, corruption, injustice, and of course, Karabakh problem. Is the society most concerned about political problems or social problems? Both, I would say. Depending on the living conditions, education level, the people have different thoughts, different problems. But the problems I mentioned, including social, economic problems, injustice, and national problems such as Karabakh concerns all the people. The experts say that the main problem of opposition is not failure to gain votes, but rather it is their inability to protect their votes. How will you protect your votes? I'm sure that myself and other candidates of our coalition will win with such a vast majority that election fraud in our constituencies will cost the authorities a lot. We've already heard that if they fail to falsify elections in our constituencies, they will annul those constituencies. Therefore, it will not be so easy for the government. Secondly, we have built a very strong observation system. Our local observation is strong. Also, the non-governmental organizations also have independent observers. The national observation also will be very strict this year. As the ruling authorities prevented majority of candidates, our candidates, from registering, the main struggle will be in 40 to 50 constituencies. So I think the international observers will focus on these constituencies. Therefore, I think it will not be so easy for the government to falsify the elections. We'll do our best to save our word. Most of the candidates nominated by the opposition were not registered. Will you continue to defend their rights even after the election? First, the refusal to register more than half our candidates proves how the ruling parties are afraid of competition with us. Secondly, most of those candidates appeal to the court. They will go even to European Court of Human Rights if necessary. Of course, we are supporting them. What steps will the Azerbaijan Popular Front Party and Musavat coalition take if the elections are falsified? Judiciary, legal, protest meetings? This issue is being discussed now. We'll take relevant steps. Struggle in legal sphere, appeals to courts, European Court of Human Rights are set. As to mass protest meetings, we have some decisions on it. We'll appeal to get permission to hold a mass meeting on November 9th. The main point is to continue drawing the society's interest to the elections, struggle, democratic process after the elections too. Because our struggle is not only aimed at elections, it's aimed at democratic development of the country. What problems did Azerbaijan Popular Front Party and Musavat coalition face during election campaign? Unequal conditions laid by the ruling establishment. For instance, they refused to register most of our candidates. As a result, we failed to claim right for free airtime. We only could use 4 means of airtime allocated for each candidate. A number of candidates were prevented from meeting with the voters, and there are many other problems like this. But we have been so used to the fraud of the ruling regime that we already know how to overcome these challenges. We know method. The election violations are, as a rule, common on the voting day. How did your coalition prepare for the voting day? This time, the ruling regime violated law in all phases of election process, and they are going to continue violations on the voting day. We are investigating their methods and preparing to struggle with it. One of the rigging methods is to form a group of 30 to 40 people who visit every precinct and vote for the candidates of the ruling regime. Moreover, the ID cards of the employees of state-run agencies are collected and they are used to vote instead of those people. The maximum goal is to prevent these methods. The minimum goal is to unveil. How do you assess the activities of international observation missions? How should they act in order to be able to contribute to democratic, free and fair elections? So far, I am satisfied with the operation of OSCE observation structure. OSCE Baku office did its best till the elections. They tried to focus the site's attention on elections to make the authorities take positive steps for elections. OSCE observation mission is operating now. They have already released 2 interim reports which reflect the reality. How many election constituencies are you expecting to win? Our coalition officially has 38 candidates and another 10 candidates are supported by the coalition. There are about 10 candidates who are separately supported by Musavat party. Another 10 are supported by Azerbaijan Popular Front Party. So we support totally about 60 candidates in election constituencies. Most of these candidates are able to win elections in their constituency. We shall see real numbers after the elections. Thank you for coming to our studio. Today our guest was the parliamentary candidate from Yasamal first election constituency 15 and Musavat party head, Gambar.